now, so we checked that the static files are working correctly. And since this process is going to take a long time, what I'm going to do is to create a base template where it has all the needed CSS and JavaScript files, and then I will extend it in all our web pages except the index.html. Why? Because this index.html doesn't follow the same structure of the file like other pages. All pages have a top bar with a nav bar and a footer. Instead, for the index.html, we need just the nav bar and the footer without the top bar. So let's keep the configuration of the index.html alone, and we will work on the base.html. So the first thing that I'm going to do is to work on the index.html to make sure that everything is okay, and then we come back to create the base.html for other files. So now we have here everything is correct, and let's go to see if we have any other static files inside the content of the index.html. So here we do not have anything. So we can make sure about, for example, this one. So in this case, we need to percentage close. We can check that by searching src. Same here and here. So I will stop the video and I will do all of them. So the main objective is to search for any static files and insert the keyword static at the beginning of it, and then close it with a percentage and curly bracket. Okay, so now as you can see that for each static file, I inserted the percentage with the curly bracket percentage and the word static, and I close it on the same way. So now we can check if the page is going to work in a correct way. Stop, and then opening this one again, refresh. Now we have all these static files. Now let's come back here and try to create a base.html source file. Okay, and let's see. So the first thing we need, so let's go back, let's split this one. Okay, in general, what we need first is this one, also with the load static. Okay, perfect. Here, let's configure this one with the block title and the block. Let's write here, for example, my name. Okay, we need to configure this one as well. Okay, so we have also body, and we need to close it again. And here we have block content, and the block. Okay, fine. Now we still have to add the navbar to top bar and the footer. So what I'm going to do is to configure them in the includes folder. So let's create another folder called includes, and we will include them in the base.html, and in this case we can re-include them again in the index.html. So first let's start by creating a navbar.html, and from here we need to take the navbar. So this is the code for the navbar. We need to load static for sure. Okay, fine. We will test them at the end. Next step is a top bar.html, and for the top bar we need another page. So let's take this one. And finally we have the footer. Okay, we can take it from the index.html. This is this section for the footer. Last step is to include them in the base.html. So first here, after the content and before the JavaScript files, so outside the body, we have includes slash footer.html, and here before the body we have two includes. The first one includes the navbar, and same for the top bar. Now we can render, for example, the base.html. So let's add a temporary view for the base.html in order to check it. So let's go to the views, def test, request, return, render, request, and base.html. We need to configure here. Let's call it test, takes the function test, and the name is test. Let's fix this one. This one should be include and not includes. And now, since we have the base.html and we have the view function and the URL, we will go to check it. Now, as you can see, we have the base.html, which we are going to use in all the templates except the index.html. One last thing to show you is that I'm going to open the base.html here and write, for example, let me write it here, by the way. This is a test for the general template. Save, going back here and refresh the page, and you can see this one. So it means that this is a general template and all the content is going to be dynamic in this place.